Heyo, heyo. What's up? I'm here as always. What does that say? 8 o'clock? 8:19? Yikes. 8:19. 8:19 o'clock p.m. on January the 13th. And I am watching a video of a lovely Channel 5 YouTuber. He's doing his interview with Nick Shirley, which is, I don't know, and kind of a meh level guy. I don't know, an idiot. I'm just gonna rest him here at idiot level, and he's a monkey. He's a typewriter monkey. I say that because, he's there it is. There's the term I'm looking for. Grinder. He's a grinder. I still, this gives me the feeling that, well, I'm just not going to say it out loud because I don't really care. To be totally honest. But you know who you are, and you're doing bad things. So getting back to the matter at hand. This Nick Shirley guy. What did he just say? He's talking about, right. The main thing is the guy's talking about how he made a video about Minnesota fraud involving child daycare centers run by Somali immigrants. I think they have legal status, like green card status or something like that. But okay, yeah. if I might just be so bold, one, let's take that. Yes, let's assume everything, all the allegations are true, and they are committing fraud. They're defrauding the state, or they had, or whatever. Maybe they should brought in prison next to Trump because, for all the things that Trump did, for all the illegal fraud that Trump did and is continuing to do, and everyone in Trump's administration. Not to mention all the other rich people that are doing all the other kinds of fraud that all of them are doing. Because if you're a billionaire, you did lots of fraud. That's how you got to be a billionaire. I'm sure Mr. Musk can fill you in on the particulars. It's the best way to get rich. Scam the government. They'll let you know. If you're going to steal, which is a great way to get rich, why not steal from the biggest fucking pot you can find, or pile? And who has the biggest pile? Probably in the entire world, the U.S. government. So, man, look at every corporation feeding off the teat of the U.S. government, and pretty much every business in the United States does something that is either, well, I'm not saying every business does something that's illegal, but in order to file taxes, when a business files taxes, you are always looking for something that you can write off, that you end up finding something that is like, that might be a little questionable, but it'll get through. You just do. I have a business, and it's generated zero income, so naturally I don't have to file a tax return. But I already have in my head a whole buttload of things that I have thinking about how I'm going to deduct it, and how I'm going to run the business, keep the receipts for everything, that goes even adjacent to the business, because the more receipts you keep, the more options you have to deduct relevant to the business. And there you go. It's maybe not technically fraud, but it's fraud adjacent. And it wouldn't be exactly the same as this Minnesota thing that this guy is talking about, but like I said, it's fraud adjacent. And that's how you get a taste of it, and then from there you go to, well, nobody's using this program. Maybe I'll open up this business, and then you get to there, and then you get to there, and well, maybe I'll open up a daycare center. Capacity's 40. Maybe you only have 12, but it's a small town, and you take care of the 12, and the families of those 12 really need it. But the 12 don't really cover the cost of daycare, so you just kind of somehow fudge up a few more, maybe from a neighboring town or something. I don't know. I don't know how you work it out. However they work it out, they worked it out. They must have done something. Either way, they found some way to do what the CIA does and sell a hammer to themselves 5 times. And there you go. Because their community was small enough and they needed the money. And then after a few years, they didn't need the money, but no one noticed. So they figured, well, what the hell? We'll just keep doing it. And maybe after a while, somebody did notice, and they were like, well, we'll donate money to your campaign. Now you don't notice anymore. And tell me this doesn't happen or something like this doesn't happen in I'm just going to say the energy sector with regulating an addition or modification of an oil refinery in Texas. Just to throw something out there. Something like that doesn't happen. And just skirt it under the rug. You do it time and time again. And then they have to kind of retroactively make a campaign donation. To the PAC, not the individuals. Well, probably the individuals' campaign too, but to the Republican PAC. So this is not just this one kind of thing here. This is all over the fucking place. I'm betting. And what did this guy also said something else that was getting on my nerves. Oh, it was just one little comment that he said. He called Elon Musk the smartest man in the world, and I was just like, ugh. That's something that we need to collectively, the whole humanity, just kind of, we got to bat that down every time it comes up. Because, I mean, really, smart people of the world, you need to unite and just be like, yeah, I'm smart over here. I don't chase money. We smart people, money doesn't interest us. You know how I know? You know how we know? Because we're smart. Money is for stupids. Um, Look at the room I'm in. This is how you know. This is one way, one flag of a smart person right here. So it's not the only indicator, but it's one. Um, I could just be broke, but it's a good place to start. So yeah, to be continued, because Andrew Callahan and Channel 5, their videos are long, so to be continued. Okay, Nick Shirley just said something that needs to be a point that needs to be countered. We all have the same opportunity. No, we don't. No. It's just no. No. Just plain no. No, we don't. No, no, no. No, 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 no. It is called life. And life, every person is on a wide scope given. I mean, that is such a that's such a Disney kind of thing to say and believe in. If we all have the same opportunity, then where is my $10 million that I was supposed to have when I was 5 years old? I mean, that I could have worked with my entire life, and that's less than a lot of people had to start with. So, and that is even just one of the things, because some people had $10 million and they looked better and they were more athletic and they were smarter. So no, 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 no. Life is inherently totally unfair. That is what life is, my friend. Life is completely unfair. And my brother was born with cerebral palsy. All right, bad cerebral palsy. He was born into a wheelchair, and he just died a month ago, something like that. 2 weeks ago? No, it's the 13th. So he died. I got the news over the Christmas, basically on Christmas is basically when I got the news. Um, and yeah, he was like 50, something like that. So he managed to live to 50 thanks to the disability system that we have in this country. Um, if we had you have to do it all yourself and you have to live off charity and all of that garbage. I can tell you right now, uh, I really don't know if my brother would have lived past 20 because of all of the. It's not even really. I mean, he needed so much extra care than we can provide, than we could have provided as a family growing up. We just didn't have the resources to provide that kind of care. Once he got like older than like 15, 16, he was too big for us to take care of, basically. Because he required moment to moment care, and he had to be lifted out of a wheelchair and all of that. I mean, because he had legs, but they didn't work. Um, one arm kind of worked, and the other one had to be strapped down, and that's it. Someone had, I mean, it was, blah. He had to go to, like speech therapy and stuff. No. Uh, with, without, yeah. So, this whole idea that, you can do anything you want to do and we all have the same opportunity. No, we just don't. We just don't have the same opportunities as each other. No matter what anyone wants to say. We have, everyone's born and you have a cone of opportunities. All right. And you have the ability to get within that cone. And it's not even really a cone. You're born here and you can go down a lot. Everybody can go down a lot in the spectrum of civilization. But your upward mobility is possible. There's no doubting that. It's been proven. We have a lot of examples of upward mobility. But it's difficult. And it's also based on the circumstances of your birth. That's just how it is. So, yeah. And it's also based a lot on luck. You know, if you make a right turn here or a left turn here, what happens 5 minutes after that? Do you happen to run into someone who, upon having a conversation with them, they give you a fantastic opportunity? Or you make a left turn and that opportunity never presents itself? Who knows? You know, it's fucking life. So, whatever. And you know, again, and this cannot be stressed enough, smart people don't really give a shit about money. And the smarter you are, the less of a shit you give about money. Because money is pointless. It means only so much as to get you food, shelter, clothing, water. That's about it. Past that, get you the stuff you need to get you whatever you need to do what you need and want. It's a means to conquering the world, or just sitting around long enough until something interesting presents itself. Oh, what a great fart. That's all. I gotta take a whiz. Hold on. Okay, so now the guys, whatever, Nick Shirley. Now Nick, now Nick Shirley's on the 20 million immigrants came in and drove up house prices, housing prices. I assume he's not talking about your $300,000 home became $1 million home because a Mexican or Ecuadorian immigrant who's earning $1.50 a day drove up that $300,000 house. I'm sure he's not making that argument, but whatever. I mean, the guy's from Utah, so of course he's right wing. But this is again in another video why I said right wingers don't know anything about anything. They can't take a fact and go conclusion. They have to go conclusion. Here's the fact that I already have. Because they believe in God. That's the reason that they have their political beliefs, basically, is because they believe in God so absolutely that they have fucked up all other kinds of beliefs about politics and economics and other kinds of things. Their religion gets in the way of handling society in a good way. So you have to attack. If you want them to be good citizens, you have to kill off their religion. You have to deal with their religion first, before anything. It's like a gangrenous limb. You're gonna have to, if you want to save the patient, you're gonna have to hack off the limb. In the future, we may have medical technology that will be able to kill the gangrene bacteria, whatever. Some of these people will actually be able to be cured. But anyways, the metaphor. Fuck the metaphor. I was trying to play the game of the metaphor, but whatever. Anyways, yeah. And, Channel 5 guy was talking about, oh, landlords raise prices anyways. And it's like, I can tell you that landlords do raise prices. Okay, my personal example. I moved to Arkansas. Moved into an apartment. It cost $250. I was renting it from like we were like a couple that owned this apartment complex that had 3 buildings. It was a couple that owned it. I rented it out for 2 years, 2 years or 3 years. I think it was 3 years. $250. Rent didn't change the entire time. I got a notice near the end of the 3rd year. Said the ownership is changing to accelerated property management. What does that sound like? Sounds like a corporation. I'm like, oh, this sounds like a corporation. The rent is going up. It didn't say the rent is going up in the letter. But as soon as I got the thing for the next lease, when the next lease came up, the rent went up. And every year after that, the rent fucking went fucking up. You know why? Because corporations don't give a shit about you. They will raise the rent on your ass whenever they get the fucking legal fucking opportunity. But the nice old couple that owned it said, we're making money off this still with the rent the way it is. We can pay our help. It covers the costs. We don't need to raise the rent. We could, but we don't need to. So you can give it. Whatever. We don't care. I was having it for $250. Corporation comes in, buys out the property, and says, fuck you, I'm raising the rent. Year goes by, fuck you, I'm raising the rent. Year goes by, fuck you, I'm raising the rent. And somebody burns the thing down on that last year. Now, did a tenant burn it down, or did the corporation hire someone to burn it down? I don't know, because the story goes that whoever started the fire was someone that just got released from jail recently. Of course, they also say they were grilling something, out the window, which you weren't supposed to do. And the fire got away from them. It spilled over and then burned down the building. So, oops. Point being, yes, landlords are dicks. And if you can count on anything, the rent goes up. But the guy here, when I pay the rent, I make the check out to a person. It's a name of a person. It's not a company. So the lease just ticked over recently, and the rent didn't go up. So see, it's a person. The rent didn't go up. I'm on disability. I pay my rent every month. Also, it's not really that great of a place. I mean, it is just good enough. And I think the guy is like, well, I'm not gonna risk this dude being like, screw this, I gotta get out of here because the rent is kind of high already. Anyways, to be continued again. The Nick Shirley guy or whatever his name, yeah, Nick Shirley, is really, really, really riding this fraud thing hard. I don't blame him personally because the fraud video apparently got a buttload of views. So, go ahead, hit it hard, get more people to watch it if you can, get people to watch it again. Get people to go to your channel and watch other videos. I mean, you got to build a name for yourself after all. I might go to your channel and go to this guy's channel and see what he's about. But, the longer I watch him interact with Andrew Callahan, I see more and more of the difference between the two of them. And it's like, the guy didn't even know what the word benevolent was. It's like, yikes. That's yikes. So, he is younger though. I'm not saying that isn't yikes, because I think I knew what the word benevolent meant in I don't know, first, 8 years old, 10 years old, something like that. So again, yikes, but still. That just goes to show you should talk to your kids. You should talk to your kids. And you should talk to your kids like you're talking to an adult, because that will make them smarter. If you talk to your kids like you're talking to an adult, and like you're talking to an adult like you're lecturing them, they will get smarter. Because a child, when they're 3, 4, 5, if you use your highest level language that you have accessible to yourself, and you throw it at that kid when their brain is in super hyperdrive development, that will produce a smarter kid. It will make their brain develop better. Oh, and don't drink while you're pregnant. I'm pretty sure my mom drank while she was pregnant. At least part of it, because in those days, you don't really know you're pregnant for the first part of the month, that first month, because you don't know, you know? And then you're like, oh, I'm late. So you were pregnant for, ladies help me out here, 15 days, 20 days, 30, 35 days, maybe even 40 days. Because you're like, I think I'm late. Yeah. And my mom was a drinky drink until I was, I don't know, 5, 6, 10 years old. So she probably drank for that first part of both my and my sister's pregnancy. But according to her, you know, she didn't drink or smoke while she was pregnant. And I believe her because she had my brother, my half brother, who again had bad cerebral palsy. So as a mother, you have one child that has that. Once you have that and you get pregnant again, that's a very big incentive to be like, oh, I'm not. The other ones, I'm going to be like on the ball. I'm going to be doing everything the doctors tell me to do. So I believe her when she says that. But I'm betting the reason I got epilepsy is she probably had a few during that first month-ish. Because she was a drinky drinker. But I'm blaming my mom. Because it's also probably the reason I'm smart. The same um, well, let's just call it a mutation, deformity, whatever, that causes that. Also, it's the same thing. Anyways, I'm on a tangent here. It just as a side effect of causing some mild epilepsy. Oh well. It's not horribly bad. Thanks to modern pharmacological intervention. Let's see how this ends up. It's only got 5 minutes left. Okay, just as a little addition, he keeps saying repeatedly, not a single white woman opened the door, went in. He keeps hammering home that this is only Somali people. And that's just really weird. Not not only because it's just only Somali people, but because this kid is from Utah. He's not even from Minnesota. Why is this so? Why does this get under his skin so much? I mean, I don't know. It doesn't even really bother me that much. I mean, even if it's true, I just don't even really give a crap. So they're. I mean, I just don't even really care. Um, it's like this is not my problem. This is not at the top of the list. If there were no other problems with the country, then I would be going after something like this. But I mean, it's like medical triage. It's like, this is like someone has an ingrown toenail, or like they got a splinter, and that's what this guy's going after. Like, you're putting all this effort into a splinter. All right. We don't need that right now. We got other things that need looking to. And I mean, if you want to bitch and moan about that, whatever. But obviously, you got some mental issues, because you're bitching about something that right now doesn't really concern probably most rational people. So, whatever. Anyways, hold on a minute. Hold that thought. Well, that's, I guess, that. The kid seems. I looked at his page, by the way. Uh, his videos, which are typical right wing garbage, um, brain slop. Um, I mean, what do you expect? I'm gonna start saying it in all my videos, because, and now that I know he knows it, I think everybody needs to start saying it. The right doesn't know anything about anything. Um, there's only two reasons to vote Republican: if you're rich or stupid. Um, tax the rich, kneecap the rich, big, big, luscious boobs.